Hello, 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 hello. Hello, guys. How are you doing? If you can hear me, just let me know. If you're struggling to hear me, let me know. So let's talk about the latest updates on the arrest of Nnamdi Kanu. He was arrested yesterday, but the question has been, where was he arrested? How was he arrested? I'm gonna give you the full gist now, as it is hot. First thing you have to do is to drop a comment in the comment section below to show me that you can hear me clearly. So if my audio is not good, um, hey, what's up? Good morning, guys. Good, good, good. We're good. So Nnamdi Kanu was arrested, and in a Gestapo style. That's the news I've been hearing, that it's in a Gestapo style, and he was bundled back to Nigeria. Sorry, guys. I think I'm getting old. So how was he arrested? I've done some research all through yesterday. I was the first person to put it on YouTube. Guess what? People started attacking me. Many people were laying curses on me. In fact, at night when I woke up and went through the comments, I was like, it's like I should block these people. You know, people were like, my family will be the one arrested. That I'm this, that I'm carrying fake news. And why can't you just verify it first? Me that put it there. Do you think I did not do my own investigation? I was the first that put it on YouTube yesterday. So attacks I got, some of them are still there. I deleted a lot of comments yesterday. When I heard itself, I thought it was fake news, but I did research, quick research. I found out that, wow, it's true. They really arrested him. So let's look at how he was arrested. The gist plenty. Within that yesterday and today, a lot of information has come out on how Nnamdi Kanu was arrested. So, first of all, I'll tell you where I'm getting my gist. So you will not think that the Son of Man is making it up. So I'm getting my gist from Vanguard. So Vanguard took time and wrote one of their longest articles. I think this thing is over 2 to 3,000 words. Look at this. Look at how long it is. Just look at this. It's crazy, man. They took time. So here they put in a lot of details that other news media haven't put in yet or mentioned. Okay. So now here is please share this video. If you're watching live, please share. Okay, share to Facebook group so that more people join. So now what this says is the highlights of the article they wrote, where I got a lot of information, says court remands him in DSS custody, fixes date for 26th July. Now I have to talk about this date. So the Nigerian security forces arrested him, brought him on Sunday, according to the article, then charged him to court on Tuesday, which is 2 days later. So 24 hours did not elapse. So, but here is the issue. According to this article, they suggested that he should be brought back to the court on which date? Can you guess which date in the year? Can you guess which date in the year that his accusers? I'm not a legal practitioner, so I wouldn't know what you guys call it. In they so they were asking the court for him to be brought back on October 20th. October 20th. We know that that date is significant. Why is October 20th significant in Nigeria? That was the date the NSAS protest ended out of some shootings in Lekki. Okay? Shootings or alleged shootings in Lekki Tollgate. So it's a day, in fact, every month, 20th of every month, that Lekki NSAS is trending, 20th of every month. People want to commemorate that shooting, 20th of every month. So that's the date that they want to bring Nnamdi Kanu back to court. So the Justice Binta Nyako said, gave the date of July 26th, which is just 1 month after he was arrested. So exactly 1 month after he was arrested. So next month ending is going to be brought back to court. So, but they initially We're asking the judge to fix October 20th. You know, that date is very significant. So, which kind of tips you off on what's going to happen in October? So, that October 20th, as people are gathering to trend NSAS and whatever, commemorate 1 year of it happening, be rest assured that something else is going to happen on that date that is going to carry news. In fact, the day before, something else will start happening on that date to try and take the discussion elsewhere. If it's not BB Niger, it's going to be BB South Africa or BB Atlantic Ocean or something else. In fact, this Nnamdi Kanu case, they might still adjourn it again to that date. They might still adjourn it again to that date. So I feel that that date is significant, and it was not a guesswork. Out of all the dates in the year remaining, they now pushed it to that date. I don't think it's a guesswork. I don't think it's a guesswork. So continuing with the gist on the article, it says, and when they asked Nnamdi Kanu in court, they asked Nnamdi Kanu in court, why did you jump bail? Because he was arrested before and he was bailed. I think after like 2 years or so, he was bailed, and then he was scheduled to come back to court. And on the day before he was going to reappear in court, there was heavy military activity in his hometown. In fact, a lot of people were killed, about 26 to 30 something people, different numbers that I read online. So even in his house, even his dogs were killed. So that was when he got disappeared. He disappeared. So since then, that was since 2000 and I think 16. Since then till now, this is the first time they're seeing his foot in Nigeria again. So when they asked him in court, he said, yeah, that he would have come to court easily, but they used military activity to scare him and make him run away and escape the country. So the judge revoked his bail. Okay, so his bail was revoked, even though his lawyer has been protesting it. I don't think his lawyer was present there yesterday because nobody knew he was in the country and they were going to charge him to court. So I think his lawyer will eventually come later, maybe by July 26th, because the judge asked him to reach out to his lawyer and get updated on the happenings since that time. Now, you also need to know that his lawyer has not found it easy, because a week ago or so, there was an attack in his own compound. He was out there showing the details from CCTV. The day before yesterday, he published a CCTV where he was showing details of how some men in military uniform and police uniform, so it's like a combined operation, came to his compound, arrested all his cooks and everything, and shot his one of his personal assistants. And he was trying to show that in the CCTV, the guy was not resisting arrest. They pointed a gun at him and told him to stop. He stopped. They say he should kneel down. He knelt down. They say he should lie down. He lay down. Before you know it, the next screen just showed that they have shot this guy. And he's bleeding. They drag his body like that. Now, what we saw on the news was that there was a gun exchange between them and the security forces. And the next thing we saw was the car was burnt and he was inside. The personal assistant was already burnt in the car or something. So only for 2 days later, which is yesterday, Nnamdi Kanu himself to be bundled back. So now, how was he arrested? Okay, that's a very big question, because now none of the people involved want to mention it. So the Vanguard is now making up things, saying that they got information from a trusted source. So the information they gave out is that he was on his way to Ukraine. I don't know from where, probably from the US, because I know he has been in the US. He has been saying it that he has been in the US. So he was on his way to Ukraine. So now it looks like, to me, that flight taking him to Ukraine will have to first of all pause in Ethiopia. It will land in Ethiopia and then refuel, carry more people, and start heading to Ukraine. So the security forces, Nigerian security forces, must have known about that scheduled flight. In fact, Farouk Berogi said he knew. Somebody told him in secret and told him not to tell anybody since the beginning of the month. So, since about 1 month ago, 30 days ago, they have already planned to arrest him, and they knew that they were going to get him in Ethiopia. They said it's in Ethiopia that they caught him. They have already, because they are saying here, Vanguard is saying that the Attorney General of the Federation, Malami, wrote a special letter to the government of Ethiopia telling them that a Nigerian citizen will be passing their airport, that they want to catch him there. And Ethiopia, because they're under Interpol, collaborated with them. So they were, in fact, waiting for him. That's what I read in this article. It shocked you. So Farouk Berogi is a columnist. He said he himself, even as a journalist, knew, but somebody told him to keep it secret, that it has to be kept secret. So let me read some. See, I'm not going to. I'll stop showing some. If your comment is too vulgar, then I will not show it. Yes, Benito is saying the truth. A lot of people are saying a lot of things. In fact, I saw the funniest one yesterday, where they said that they brought an Ashawo, Brazilian Ashawo, and the Ashawo has been chatting with him since beginning of the year. He finally went to meet the Ashawo in Brazil, not knowing that the hotel that was booked was filled with Nigerian security agencies. So the moment they arrested him in the hotel, the moment he landed in the hotel, they apprehended him and tranquilized him and put him in a taxi and flew him to the airport. And then from the airport, they brought him to Nigeria. That's the funniest one I read yesterday. In fact, my friend on Facebook that posted it, I unfriended him because how can a person with brain cells be sharing that kind of thing? It's not everything that you share. You have to confirm it. How can you share something that is that stupid? So I unfriended the guy. I don't even want to see that kind of word. I was wondering how did I end up being friends with this guy? So, but I think the one I'm reading about connecting flight, even though I don't believe it's Ukraine that he's going to, I don't see anything significant in Ukraine. I believe he's going to Israel, Jerusalem, because here's why I say so. Because from the beginning of the month, he started leading a prayer. He said it's going to be 30 days. It's going to be the month of prayer. 30 days. Okay, so today was going to make it 30 days. Today was going to, so I see that he was trying to conclude it in Jerusalem. You get the way he showed up in Jerusalem without his skull cap and all this Jewish stuff. When he was, when he escaped in 2016, he resurfaced in Jerusalem. So I think that's what he wants to do again, to show up in Jerusalem to conclude that prayer. In fact, the last tweet he tweeted was that it was on 27th. All right, that this is the 27th day of the prayer. That was one of the last tweets he tweeted, like 2 days ago before he was arrested. So I feel that he was going to Jerusalem to conclude that prayer. And upon booking that flight, they already knew. The moment he booked that flight, they already knew. So I think he booked it at the beginning of the month. That's what I think happened. So until the security agencies and government officials come out and tell us officially what happened, we will not know. All these things are just guesswork. So, but I believe that he was on his connecting flight to Jerusalem, because I don't see anything special happening in Ukraine. What's in Ukraine that is going there to do? Ukraine that they're even fighting war. They are fighting war in Ukraine. So I think that's what happened. And the story of being tranquilized, I think it's also But it's also possible, as they arrested him, they might have injected him with something so that he will be weak and not struggle till they bring him all the way back to Nigeria. So that could also explain why they allowed about 2 days before they brought him to court. You know, normally he would have been brought to court on Monday, unless the flight that brought them back to Nigeria did not just arrived. Maybe the flight arrived late on Sunday, and they wanted to use Monday to do some official documentations and stuff and briefings. Now, we know also that something else happened, that Buhari wanted to go to London for his usual medical trips and checkups, and he cancelled it. And the question is, why did he cancel it? A lot of people were like, that's the first time Buhari is scheduling a London trip and cancelling it. It's not normal. It must be something cogent that made Buhari to cancel that trip. Nobody knows till now, at least in the public domain, but some people are already insinuating that it's because he got wind that, yes, that they are on the trail of Nnamdi Kanu. Vule Bulala, yeah, I'm just warning people. I'm just warning people. Now, you need to know that so far they have not found him guilty of anything. This is just still a court process. Nnamdi Kanu has not been found guilty of nothing yet. So I see a lot of people tweeting things. Nope. Yeah, something is going on. He has not been found guilty of anything yet. So as it stands now, he is still 100% innocent person. Now, another thing you have to know is that Nnamdi Kanu is not just a citizen of Nigeria, he is also a citizen of the UK. So I don't know how that place comes into play. And I don't know, but it looks like he renounced his Nigerian citizenship. And if he did that, then he's not the only person that have done that. I think Asari Dokubo has done that too, long time ago, about 10 years ago. Asari Dokubo came out and said he has renounced his Nigerian citizenship. In fact, he got citizenship in another country. So, but I don't know whether another African country. I don't know whether that was just a media banter or whether it is true. He actually did it. So now let's look at this. If you renounce your citizenship and you belong to another country, can you be arrested in that other country? You get what I'm saying? During the Rwandan genocide, one of the persons that instigated that genocide was a radio presenter that was an Italian. Is it Italian or Portuguese? Rwanda. I can't remember whether it's Italian or Portuguese, but is it just white guy from Italy or Portugal? In Italy himself, the guy was just a road street side hustler, But him relocating to Rwanda, because he's light skin and everything, they put him in the radio. So let me find out. He's from the country that colonized Rwanda. Let me try and find out that. Which country? Belgium. I think the guy is from Belgium. So it's a Belgian guy. He relocated. Belgian guy that has never been to Africa. He just moved to Africa. They put him in a radio and they started spewing hatred against, they have the Hutus and Tutsis or something. They started against the other tribe until violence started. So finally, when Paul Kagame came and they arrested the guy amongst other people that instigated the violence and started prosecuting them, that particular guy, they could not really keep him. They could not really keep him because the Belgian authorities requested for his extradition. So no matter how much prison sentence they gave him, I think he stayed only 2 years. Once that prison sentence elapsed, it did not elapse, but once the court case elapsed and they gave him a sentence, they took him back to Belgium, and the following year in Belgium, he was released. He was set free. He's a free man now. But I think the other people that instigated that violence are still in jail today in Rwanda. You get? So I don't know how the legal process goes, but given that he is also a citizen of the UK, is he going to play a role? I'm asking the lawyers now, is he going to play a role in his court case? Can Nigeria kill, for instance, a British citizen? If they find themselves in such a situation, how would the UK react? So I don't know whether it's British or Irish. I think his passport is Irish. I think he's an Irish citizen. I think so. So the lawyer that witnessed it in court, a lot of people witnessed it, but they removed cameras. They said he was wearing, they put him in black. As you can see on this shirt, he's on Gucci. Is it Gucci or Versace? It's one of those expensive tracksuits. That's what they have here. Look at the marks on it. That thing is expensive. If this clothes when you wear no reach 1 million naira. If this cloth is not 1 million naira, I won't believe it's having official, except it's a fake brand, you know. But I think this is an expensive clothing. So, by the time they brought him to Nigeria, they changed him into a black tracksuit. He said he was wearing a black. Yeah, Fendi. Yeah, thanks, Victor. That's Fendi he's putting on. That shit is expensive, man. So, black tracksuit, and then they covered his head and put chains on his hand and on his leg. That was how they brought him into court before they removed it for him to address the judge. And they said that what he told the judge was that these people attacked his home. That's why he ran. Otherwise, they would have killed him the way they killed other people. And the lawyer that witnessed it, one of the lawyers told the media that he spoke well. For a lawyer to confirm that somebody that is not a lawyer spoke well, you know what it is. You know how it is. Nnamdi Kanu is a very, very eloquent speaker. Very eloquent. You know, you can't even, many people have attempted to even debate with him. You can't debate with him. Before you know it, he has given you 100 solid points that you will now start agreeing with his points. He's gifted like that. Very eloquent. So they say that when they brought him into court, they brought him through the back door, into the courtroom. The back door that the judge usually uses to go, that's where they brought him from. And after the court case, they still took him from there. Now, as he was being brought into the courtroom, that was when the Attorney General Malami went and was addressing the press. So as they were addressing the press somewhere, the court trial was going on. So they nullified his bail, saying that he jumped bail and he was putting up an argument. But let's see what happens 1 month later when they bring him right back to the court. Nas said no, Nigeria can't kill UK or American citizen of any country, sir. Possibly, I don't know how that law goes, but I don't know if one country. Normally, if you arrest a UK citizen, UK government will step in immediately and extradite the person, no matter what the person did in your country. There was a time that Trump did it for one of the black rappers. I've even forgotten his name. This guy went to another country and fought. I think it's Sweden or so, and fought. Trump, if you see threats that Trump gave to Sweden, you know Trump now. Like now, Trump put down threat on Sweden. They released the guy. Release him sharp. With Trump. Trump, no. And this guy is a black, he's not a white American. He's a black American rapper. I think he went to fight in a club or something, and something happened. They arrested him. What happened carried like 1 or 2 years prison. What he did, I've forgotten this guy's name. Can somebody remind me? Trump threatened Sweden. Before you know it, Sweden now agreed to a prisoner exchange program. So they released the guy. The U.S. sent them one of their prisoners carried out a single. Now you need to know that what Nnamdi Kanu is doing is not unique. I was trying to put somebody through yesterday. Nnamdi Kanu is not in the country, and he's leading the agitation within his country. He's not the only person doing it now in 2021. There's a country there's an agitation for a country called Ambazonia. Ambazonia is the English speaking part of Cameroon. You know, Cameroon. Yes, Asap Rocky. Yes, yes, remind me. Good, good, good. I remember now. Trump ginger Sweden, Sweden rush. If you have read, a lot of people hated Trump seriously because of media. He came for presidency, so there's a lot of negative attack on him. If that's the first time you're hearing about Trump, you will hate him. But if you go and read his books, that man has written 12 books. One of his books, The Art of the Deal, he mentioned how he comes up with great deals, because one thing you can't deny Trump is that he's a great deal maker. He said he's the greatest deal maker on earth. So if you're going to sign big deals in life, go and read that. That book is bestseller for many years. The Art of the Deal is a bestseller for many years. So one thing Trump said, there is one way to make deal is if you have something leverage. So never go into a deal without leverage. If you have something you can use to pull ground, pull it, and that person will come to your table. If you're the one going to that person's table, that you're going to lose some, you're going unprepared, and then you lose ground in the deal. So before you enter any deal, you look for leverage. What is it that I hold that this person will need? So when Trump wanted to force North Korea, Kim Jong-un, to come to the negotiation table, he did not go and say, come, let us negotiate. He started threatening Kim Jong-un. Say, I'm going to blast you off the surface of the earth. He'll go to Twitter and say, the little rocket man, they're going to delete his country, he's going to do this, he's going to do that. All those threats, finally, for the first time in history, Kim Jong-un traveled out of his country and had a meeting with Trump officials. And Trump gave him a good deal. I don't know why he did not take it. I believe he did not trust the Americans. So, but Trump told him that he wants to convert his country to a, what do you call it, a tourist center. A whole lot of that is going to bring a lot of wealth to his country. Once North Korea opens up and says, we are now accepting tourists on a large scale, and then fix their beaches. Trump said he wants to make their beaches nice, and the whole world will flood there, and it will bring them wealth. But the guy did not buy the idea. Instead, he went and aligned with their long-term allies, which is China and Russia. And those ones just guarantee him protection. So that's the update so far on Nnamdi Kanu. Now, what are other people saying? Now, IPOB has been threatening, because Nnamdi Kanu have already said in the past that if they look for him and they don't see him, that they should do something in quote. Okay, so he broadcasted it on last year, I think during that NSAS, let's say a day or two after NSAS. Nnamdi Kanu said that if he falls, if they shoot him or kill him, or they don't find him at any point, especially the state where it happened, that things must go down. His group is now armed, so he was talking to his armed group. Said that if they look for him any day and they don't see him, things must happen. So I've been seeing some posts. IPOB people are saying that they give the government 3 days. 3 days. So this is day 2 now. Say after 3 days, if nothing happens, things will happen. People have been ranting. So I was trying to explain that Nnamdi Kanu is not the only one. In Ambazonia, their leader, the leader of the separatist movement, is actually in the US. He's in US, he's broadcasting. The guy is just comfortably in the US, and he's telling his people to fight for their freedom. You need to know that is the dimension freedom fighting has taken today. You understand? In the past, the freedom fighters have to be within the country, and they have to fight within, like the way Mandela did. Mandela fought within South Africa. The only time he ran away was when he felt he was going to be arrested. He ran away, he came to Nigeria. But the moment he ran away, he disconnected himself from the entire movement. So he had no other option than to go back, and then that was when they apprehended him. You get, in those days, there were no phones. So the only thing you can do is through letters. So the moment you leave that area of agitation, you have disconnected yourself. But these days, there is internet. So all over the world now, people are inspiring their people at home. It is happening in India. There's a part of India called Khalistan. Now they want to create another country. They are agitating for independence in a place called Khalistan. This is about 20 to 30 years they have been fighting there. Even though now the violence has come down, but the agitation is picking up again. Why? Because there is now social media and people abroad are now telling their people at home, get the country back. We need our own country. You know, when they travel abroad and they see everything. So a lot of people have been saying, why isn't Nnamdi Kanu? Why won't he come back? A general that is running. You should know that that's how a lot of the other people are already doing it. So you can now start understanding why there's serious campaign to regulate social media. So when they say regulate social media, some people support it, some people against. But what does regulating social media mean? Many people don't even know. They just know that social media should regulate because of fake news, fake news. If there's fake news, why don't the government of the country go and arrest the person that posted the fake news and use the person as an example? You will see people will not post fake news again. You know, but regulating kind of means that they want to bring the social network to their knees and make them do exactly what the government wants. Just the way the media within the country, is doing exactly what the government wants. If you don't do it, the government will shut you down. But social media is kind of outside, it's based in the US. So many countries now are trying to bring the Facebooks, the Twitters, and whatever to their knees and force them to start doing what the government wants. So if they are successful, if they are able to do that successfully, it simply means that they have overcome the threat of people inspiring others within home to fight for their freedom. You know, so in many countries that might be progressive if the leader is benevolent. You know, like in places like China. China is very strict. If you talk rubbish, you don't, even if you're a billionaire, that your money can disappear in one day. Go and look at what is happening to Jack Ma. They have taken his company from him. He is no longer the richest person in China. His money has dropped. This, that. Nobody has seen him. It's like he's in custody. Why? Because he made one speech. And what did he even say in the speech? He's just saying that the Chinese banking system needs to be structured. Oh boy. They finish him. And he's not the only billionaire that was disappeared last year. One wrote an article criticizing the government's COVID-19 approach. Oh boy. They gave the guy 18 years imprisonment. They arrested him, put one charge on top of his head. Boom, he was already in jail. 18 years. This guy is already 62 years. 62 plus 18. It shocked you. And nobody's coming to help him. You know, it will be China. So, but what, on the other hand, China is producing billionaires. They are minting billionaires every month. In fact, every month they are minting 400 million in US dollars every month. That's how progressive the country has become. And if you look around, you start seeing Chinese influence in every part of the world. You get, so if they are clamping down on the media, to the average person within the country, it might be bad. But if you look at the overall, you will see that they are doing good. But if you look at countries like some African countries where there is clamped down on the media, when you're talking about Uganda, Museveni, that has been in power since 1980s, you know, they wanted to do election last year. He arrested, is it last year or this year? He arrested his fellow contestant. Imagine saying me and you one contest for class prefect, I arrest you, put. No, leave me come cover. Everybody now voted for him. At the end of the election, that was when they now brought out Bobby Wine from captivity. Now he has collapsed. In case you don't know, he collapsed. And there's no hospital in his country. African presidents, problem there. There's something wrong in this our Africa. Museveni has been in power since 1980 and he fell ill day before yesterday. And there's no single hospital in the whole country that he can confidently be taken to and say, yes, this is the hospital that I can be treated. Do you know where they took him to? They flew him in his military helicopter. They flew him to Kenya for treatment. Museveni, they flew him to another African country, Kenya, for treatment. When Kenya president falls ill now another country they go fly and go. What is wrong in Africa? Let me give you another example. You may think that this thing has any that is just normal. It's not normal. Something is wrong with us yet. In Cuba, Fidel Castro became president when he was young through military coup, and he stayed till he died. You know, and Cuba is close to America, but America wanted to remove Fidel Castro. Every new American president tried his best to remove Fidel Castro. You know, but they couldn't. They didn't succeed. Now, what did Castro do? Because Castro was a chain smoker, so he had sickness in his body from even his mid-40s. But he couldn't go anywhere because they are trying to kill him. They say he survived over 1,200 assassination attacks, the highest on record. Officially recorded assassination attempts, over 1,200 he survived. You know? So going outside the country for treatment was not something he should try. So what did he do? He built the best medical system in the world is in Cuba today. Cuba is a very poor country because of the international embargo that America put on them. Nobody wants to trade anything with them. If you go to Cuba, the cars you'll be seeing there are those cars in 1970s. Those ancient cars, that's the cars they are still driving. Or if you see Mercedes, it's the ancient type. Mazda, ancient type, you know, all those kind of cars. You know? But when you look at their medical system, it's the best in the world. If they are operating in Cuba, you know. So at the end of the day, what happened with Fidel ran into COVID-19 problem? Where did they hire doctors from? Was it not Cuba? They went to Cuba and hired doctors, and in Cuba, white people. It's not one race that is in Cuba. Fidel Castro is light skinned, but then there are blacks in Cuba. But if you see their doctors, it's a mixture. It will be like Nigerian doctors said, because you see blacks there. Some of the best doctors in the world. Why is it that in Africa here, there is no single hospital you can point to? You know, some people will rush to South Africa. Sorry. Some will go to South Africa for treatment. Nigeria and go to South Africa. When you go, treating you there, because 25% of doctors in South Africa are Nigerian. 25%. That's significant in case you don't know. Very, very. 25% of South African doctors are Nigerians. So it's like you're moving to Nigeria, to a better Nigeria where there's better medical treatment. What does it cost for a country in Africa to build the best hospital in the world? See, citizens don't mind how you came about the hospital. Let's even say that contract to a Chinese company and say, come and build this hospital, build us anything, but build the best hospital in our country. It's something, this is government policy. It doesn't have to cost anything. They just have to give the company land. Go to China and say, who wants to build the best hospital in Africa? We'll give you land and no tax for 50 years. No tax. Build a hospital. Charge anything you want for medical treatment, but put it in our country. Once that thing is built, you will see the whole world coming there for medical treatment. Nigeria used to be like that in the past. They say the king of Saudi Arabia once came to Ibadan, this UCH Ibadan, for medical treatment. Imagine how they used to see Nigeria there. Then what happened? That's the question. What happened? So it's not just, it's happening in all African countries where the president is not confident. That's where we are now. So the man now, I think he collapsed or something. The president of Uganda, I think he collapsed and they took him out, took him to Kenya. I don't know whether they're done with the treatment, his treatment. But then in the process, he promoted his son. His son is a military commander. They now put him like something like chief of army staff and chief of land defense forces. That's the way they put it. You understand? It's just like somebody was a regular general in the army, and the father, who is the president, father now woke up one day and now promoted him. Family business, isn't it? You know what it looks like in Uganda? The way Buhari is president in Nigeria now, his son is a commander in chief of the chief of army staff. That's the way it is. President is ruling you here. His son is ruling here. His other son is ruling there. His family business. And waiting the country be. So what's wrong with Africa, man? So back to Nnamdi Kanu. I'll keep you guys updated as things happen. IPOB has threatened, saying that Nigeria has not even seen anything yet. You know that they're giving 3 days. Uh-huh. So let's see what will happen in 3 days' time. But also, some other developments have started happening. Some people are posting, I don't know how true that is, that there is increased security in the region. In the southeast, major towns were flooded by soldiers. Major towns in anticipation of some sort of uh, protest or whatever, you know, in anticipation, major towns were flooded. But also, you need to know that in as much as there's a lot of security in the southeast, there is also a lot of complaints by communities in the north, you know, in terms of the violence they're experiencing. So at the end of the day, let's see how things are going to develop going forward. But as usual, I'll be the first. And next time when I break news, don't call me, don't stop cussing me, okay? Try and research it to know whether the news I broke is true. So do you guys have any questions before I end this broadcast? Any questions at all? Hope you guys can still hear me though. Any questions at all? Before I end the broadcast. So as for Nnamdi Kanu, what I think is going to happen is that the court case is going to take incredibly long, and it will not come to any serious conclusion until the end of Buhari's tenure. I feel that Buhari's tenure is ending soon, 1.5 years. In 1.5 years' time now, the issue of Buhari's tenure will be over. So it's very possible that Insta update. Yes, I talked about Nnamdi Kanu. He came late. So I think at the very least, okay, that eventually we will not see the end of Nnamdi Kanu's case until Buhari is over. Buhari's tenure is over. So it's going to spill over into the tenure of the next president. And then it becomes a political issue, you know, where some certain politicians will try to use him to win votes in the region, you know. So let me not go further than that. But I feel that if the whole situation passes Buhari's tenure and overflows into the tenure of the next regime, during that build up to that election time and everything, he is going to become a political figure. You know, people will want to use him for politics. So that's what I feel that will happen. So it's not the first time. It happened during Asari Dokubo. Dokubo was in jail for like 2 years, and all of a sudden, boom, boom, they released him. And they released him around the election time. Is it pre or post election time? But it was around the same time. Same thing with Rafu Wazirike, the Masop leader. And one thing you notice that each of them, whenever they come out, the whole idea of violence, they drop it, and then they become social media commentators. You know, people, they were violent before they got in, but the moment they are done, they drop the whole issue of violence, they drop it once they come out. So it could end up being the case with Kanu too. It could end up being the case, but let's see how it goes over time. So, but what you have to know is that the other time they arrested Nnamdi Kanu, according to him, he was asked to drop the violence, the whole idea of violence. He was asked to drop it and he said no. Unlike some of these other people, freedom fighters that have been arrested, you know, and they agreed to drop theirs. Nnamdi Kanu said that they came to his table and brought it to his table that they want to release him on the grounds that he will drop the agitation, and he said no, he's not dropping it. So who knows how it's going to come, how it's going to happen next? Of course, the only other one that can happen is that the court case goes fast. Court case goes fast, and we see the end of the case, which could be imprisonment or death by hanging if they can find him guilty of capital, something that involves capital punishment. You know, or some other things could happen. See, somebody might die before then. Somebody significant in the whole process might die before then, and the whole country will face another direction. You know what I'm saying? It's possible. Let's stop here, guys. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed this podcast. I'll be the first to bring you the next update. And if you want businesses to do online, please just chat me up on WhatsApp. So I'm putting my phone number on WhatsApp. I'm putting it on the screen, so just chat up there, and I'll give you a link to online business course. And these days, most importantly, social media management. So how to get jobs as a social media manager. If you know those your siblings at home saying they don't have job, even the ones in school, there are social media management jobs they can do on their phone, and they'll be earning 100 to 200K per month. You know, they'll be working for companies, but on their phone, managing the company's social media platforms and everything, replying to messages. They can do that while in the classroom, in their hostel, and whatever, and they're making money. So I have that course. Chat me up on WhatsApp. I'll share the link. You buy the course for them. Let them start the process. And within 2-3 weeks, they would have completed the course, and then they are good to go. All right, guys, thank you very much. It has been amazing. I'll come back on a broadcast. I'll come back on another broadcast. There are updates about the lady that stabbed. There's this lady that stabbed somebody to death, that stabbed the Super TV CEO to death, and tried to run away with his money. But there are updates. She has changed her story again, you know, the third time now. And this time, I think the story is closer to the truth. So I'll be back on another broadcast and we can discuss it, okay? So don't go nowhere.